Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. Today we come to our final class in a series of 4 classes in which we look at sentence structure. We looked at simple sentences and then compound sentences. Yesterday, complex sentences. Today, dun, 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 compound complex sentences. Okay, now, a simple sentence is an independent clause. An independent clause is a simple sentence. Simple sentence, by definition, must have a subject noun, somebody or something or some place that does the action, and a verb, an action, or possibly a verb to describe a state of being. And it, most importantly, maybe, it must be a complete thought. Okay, this defines an independent clause. That's a simple sentence. When we combine 2 independent clauses with but or and or yet or so, we can form compound sentences. Compound sentences are 2 independent clauses joined together. Complex sentences, we have to deal, in compound sentences, we have to deal with dependent clauses. They have a subject and a verb, but they just are not a complete idea. When we add subordinators like after I came to class, or while I was sleeping, or because I was tired, these kinds of clauses are called dependent clauses because they don't make sense if I say them all by themselves. Because I was late, if I just say that to you, it makes no sense without some help. That's why it's dependent. It needs help to be a real sentence, just like Pinocchio needed help to become a real boy. Okay. All right. In any case, today we're going to look at complex sentences are an independent clause and 1 or more dependent clauses. It could be a limitless amount of dependent clauses. Today, we're going to look at compound complex sentences in which, in a compound complex sentence, it contains 2 or more independent clauses instead of 1 independent clauses and many dependent clauses. A compound complex sentence has at least 2 independent clauses and 1 or more dependent clauses. So we're going to be looking at that today, how it's structured, how to do punctuation, and we're going to practice it. I've also got a few exercises where we can practice identifying independent and dependent clauses. That's kind of key. Okay, that was a long introduction. All right, let me say hello to everyone and make sure your microphones are working. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How are you today?
This morning I went to the coffee shop. At that time it's not so cold, but now it's getting colder and colder. I'm wearing some down jacket, even though it's
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
Still shivering.
Yeah, I will tell you that I'm here in the Philippines and my air conditioner actually, my extension cord for my air conditioner wasn't working. It's very hot today in the Philippines.
Contract.
So hot. Sitting here sweating for my first 2 classes. I fixed it though.
In Japan, we don't need to have a refrigerator. Temperature is the same.
Yeah, well, where I am, I want to crawl inside my refrigerator. Yeah. Okay. Let me also welcome Mauricio. Hello, Mauricio. Hey there.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
Good, good. Oh, how can I pronounce your name?
Oakley.
Oakley.
That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Okay, and hello, Xingyu. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I like your name. Your name is wonderful.
My
Okay.
name, my name is weird, actually. Yeah, even it's a weird name. It
Your
really,
name is special. Your name is special.
it is. It's a very weird name, and it's an extremely old name. It actually comes from Druidic. It's really, really, really old English, and no surprise, it has to do with oak trees. That's a type of tree, a big, strong tree that Druids used to worship. They worshipped trees. And my name actually, it's that old. It comes from the time that people worshiped trees in Northern Europe, and my name actually means lone oak, lone by itself, lone oak in the meadow. So, yeah. So it's a very strange and odd name to have. I never meet anyone with my name. It's an old family name. Apparently, my family 2,000 years ago were Druids. I don't know. Anyway, tree worshippers. Crazy. Hello, Vladimir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Doing well.
Okay, super. Nice to have you in the class again. Good to see you again. And as always, it's also good to see Nader. Hi, Nader.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you today?
I'm a bit sleepy, but I'm okay.
Well, good morning.
Good
Morning to you. Okay, let's get started looking at compound complex sentences. I'm going to do a screen share and talk about how this thing looks. All right. Okay. Compound complex sentence contains, again, I'll repeat it, at least two independent clauses, of course, joined by one of our connectives. Or if you remember from class 2 days ago, it can, when we have two and then more information, we often also combine it with a semicolon. So we may see that today as well. So anyway, basically, at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. So here is an example. Okay, because I'm an English teacher, some people expect me to speak perfectly. And other people expect me to write perfectly. Okay, the dependent clause with the subordinator because, which makes it a dependent clause, is underlined here. Notice whenever, regardless if it's a complex sentence or a compound complex sentence, when the dependent clause is first, we have to have a comma. There it is. Okay, the independent clauses are then follow in blue. Again, we have a new subject, a verb, some people, subject, expect, the verb, and here we have an object, me, and then a prepositional phrase, to speak perfectly. Now, here is our comma and connector, which combines two independent clauses. In other words, if I were to remove the dependent clause because, all right, let's just do that. Okay, what am I left with? What is this? Heidi, what kind of sentence is this? What kind of sentence is this? Some people expect me to speak perfectly, and other people expect me to write perfectly.
Two independent clause.
That's correct. So it is a compound sentence. Precisely. Exactly. It's two independent clauses, making it a compound sentence. Now, if I were to put that back where I found it. All right. What if I get rid of the second independent clause. Because I'm an English teacher, some people expect me to speak perfectly. Mauricio, now what do I have?
Two sentences, one sentence, or one dependent clause and another independent clause.
That's right. I have one dependent and one independent clause. This is a perfect example of a complex sentence. Okay? This is what we call a complex sentence, when we have at least one independent clause and two or more dependent clauses. At least one or more dependent clauses. So that's a complex sentence. So there you go. So obviously compound complex sentence, we're kind of combining. We're combining, oops, wrong one. Oops, error. There we go. Okay. So compound complex sentence, we're basically combining the two. At least two independent clauses, and before we get to that next example, we're going to do a little practice. Let's try to keep this a little bit simpler here. Let's try to see if we can create examples of the compound complex sentence. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna start with Xingyu. Xingyu, you ready to give this a try?
I try my best to do this.
All right. Using the example above. Go ahead.
Because I'm from China. Because I'm from China. Some people think I am good at math.
You are good.
I am good at math.
At
Mathematics. Mathematics.
Yeah. Right. Mathematics. Nice. Okay.
And mathematics. And other people.
Okay.
And other people expect me to cook Chinese food perfectly.
Okay. Okay.
I imitate your sentence.
Yes, I see that. It's okay. That's all right. That's all right. As they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Okay. What did I do with mathematics? I misspelled it. All right. Okay. This has one problem. What is the one problem here?
After China, you need a comma.
Yes, indeed, sir. You are correct. Thank you very much. Okay. Some people think I'm good at mathematics, and other people expect me. That's good.
After mathematics.
Oh yeah, right.
A comma.
In fact, you're right. I almost overlooked that. Oh, good one. Nice. Yes, you're absolutely correct. This is a very good example of a compound complex sentence. I'm glad that Xingyu said mathematics as well, because American speakers just say math, and British speakers say maths with an S. You can avoid that problem
American people
by saying,
are lazy people.
Sorry?
I see. American people are lazy people.
Are lazy people? Okay. Well, No, I choose to think of it quite another way. Actually, we're just more efficient.
I totally agree with you.
Okay. Thanks, Zinyu. All right, that's a great sentence. Okay, terrific. Vladimir, why don't you give it a try?
Okay, because I am a programmer. Some of my friends expect me.
Sorry.
Some of my friends
Okay.
expect me
Okay.
to know everything about computers.
Uh-huh.
And other friends expect me to be able to fix any furnishings.
Any what?
Furnishings? Any devices?
Okay. Devices. Okay. And okay, Vladimir, again, we got to concern ourselves with punctuation here.
Because I'm a programmer, comma.
Yep. Very good. And where else? And we need one more comma, Vladimir.
Everything about computers, comma.
That's it. Very good.
Before and.
Okay. I only have one other issue with this sentence. Some my friends. You need a preposition here. This should be
Some of my
some.
friends.
There you go. Some of my friends. Okay. All right. Another perfect example, kind of following the format. Now, let me play around with your sentence because I want to show you guys something. Let me strip this first dependent clause. I'm going to take it out of there. Okay, I just want to show you something. I can just as easily put this dependent clause back here. All right. The sentence works just as well here. Some of my friends expect me to know everything about computers, and other friends expect me to be able to fix any devices because I am a programmer. Okay? Notice when I move the dependent clause to the end of the sentence, I no longer require a comma. All right? Only when the dependent clause is first do I require a comma. So it's perfectly okay to reorganize the sentence in this way or in other ways. Doesn't matter the arrangement, okay, where you put the clauses, how you put them, but of course you have to have two independent clauses and one dependent clause, one or more dependent clauses. Okay, let me quickly welcome Shenji. Hello, Shenji. Welcome to the class.
Hi, okay.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Good, thank you.
Terrific. Welcome to the class. I'm going to let you have a try at making one of these compound complex sentences in just a minute. All right, let's see if we can get at least another example here or two. Nader, you want to give it a shot?
Since I have to go to work shortly,
Okay.
comma, I may not be able to complete this class, comma, but I will definitely. Miss the first part of the next one.
Okay. Okay. I always misspell definitely, by the way. Every time. Okay. There it is. All right. We have our dependent clause. Since I have to go to work shortly, he gave me the commas. I may not be able to complete this class. Definitely a dependent, a simple sentence, or, sorry, an independent or a simple sentence there. Here's our connector. I will definitely miss the first part of the next one. Okay, very good. Again, this came up yesterday looking at complex sentences. He uses a pronoun, non-specific pronoun, next one, but it makes sense because we have in context, we know what the next one is. So it is a complete thought. All right, we understand the next one is referring to the next class. It's obvious. So it is a complete thought. It is an independent clause. This is a perfect compound complex sentence. Very good. Okay. Great. Shenji. All right. Do you see what we're doing, or would you be more comfortable having a couple more examples? Are you ready to try?
I just need. Yes, I just waiting for maybe. Okay. You want me to speak a more complex sentence, right?
Yeah, a compound complex sentence. That's right.
Okay. Even though I'm a little tired right now.
What? Are you getting?
Okay. Even though I'm a little tired.
Go slower.
Okay. Even though I'm a little tired at this moment.
Even though.
Right.
Okay. Even though.
I'm a little tired.
I am a little tired.
Right, at this moment.
Okay.
I still join the class to practice my written English.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that it?
Right.
Okay. Wait a second here. We have something missing. Even though I'm a little tired at this moment, okay, this is a subordinator here, even though. It's a phrasal subordinator, actually. Okay. Where does the comma go, Shenji?
At this moment.
Thank you. You are correct. Okay. That's right. We have a dependent clause here. Then I still joined the class to practice my written English. But what we're missing, this is a great example of a complex sentence. One independent, one dependent clause. Okay, one or more dependent clauses. So if we want to make this compound complex, we have to have some kind of joiner, but or so, or and, something like that. So, for example, so I can get a promotion.
A promotion, right? Okay.
At work. There you go. Something like that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you need two independent clauses, two simple sentences as part of the sentence. Okay, at long last, Heidi, we're back to you.
Okay.
What have you got?
Mhm. I already put group chat.
Okay, well, I have to change now. Okay, hang on a second. Of course, I'm required to use the Verbling chat, so it takes me a second if I'm going to look at the.
Bubble chat, everyone can see that.
Yeah, but I'm required by the rules of Verbling, and so nothing I can do
Copy
about
and
that.
paste.
That's what I'm
Copy and
doing.
paste.
I'm doing it. It takes a little while, though. Just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, just give me a second. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a look. Whenever, that is clearly a subordinator, sorry, bad pronunciation. Whenever I walk with my nephew, okay, there's my comma, very good. He always stops in front of a pet shop. Ah, okay, which keeps a lot of cats and dogs, and we can see them from the windows face onto the sidewalk. Okay, well, wait a second. We've got a lot going on here. All right. I'm going to make this, I'm going to highlight this dependent clause in yellow. All right. And then my independent clause, I guess I'll make it green. He always stops in front of a pet shop. Okay, that's an independent clause, right? Okay. Now, suddenly we run into the middle of the sentence. We have who, where, which, that. We have a relative pronoun, which also, as we learned yesterday, acts as a subordinator. So suddenly, which keeps a lot of cats and dogs, we have another dependent clause. And the one problem here, suddenly we connect. We've got a new subject. We can see them from the windows, face onto the sidewalk. Now, look at this. Now we have another independent clause. So we've actually got, Heidi has given us a very complicated sentence. It's a great sentence because it has two dependent clauses and two independent clauses. She has arranged the sentence so the independent clauses are not even together. They're actually broken up with another dependent clause. Heidi, you do need another comma, though. Where do you need a comma? Oops, where did you go? Oopsie. Okay, anyway, Heidi would have needed a comma here. You don't necessarily need one in front of this dependent clause here, but you need this comma and in front of the connector.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm worried about you. Okay.
No, man. Oh, pet shop.
Yeah, pet shops here. Oh, I see. You're answering my question before you disappear. Actually, I don't think you don't really need a comma here.
Yeah, I think so.
This is debatable. All right. Is this now here's where yesterday we started talking about this. This is a relative clause. Is it absolutely necessary to the meaning of the sentence? Do we absolutely need this? It's debatable whether we need a comma here or not. But in actuality, if we put a comma, I don't think it hurts. He always stops in front of a pet shop, and we see them.
No comma. No comma. I don't need to put comma.
I don't think it's really necessary. I think it's one of these cases where it's actually optional. I think we have a choice. We can use a comma here or not use a comma and still be grammatically correct. The problem with commas is sometimes they are in fact optional. You don't need them. Sometimes in some cases it's purely a judgment call. Do you need it to break up the ideas because the ideas are completely different? or does one idea flow into the next very easily? Okay, I don't think we need it either. One small problem. He always stops in front of a pet shop, which keeps a lot of dogs and cats, and we can see them from the windows. Okay, you have a choice. Yes, Zinyo?
And I face forward face. Can we change it into facing?
Yeah, I was just about to talk to Heidi about that. You actually have a choice. You can say facing the street, okay? Use right. The window's facing onto the sidewalk.
First, I thought so facing, or which face, or but I remember.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That was easy. Thought I was going to struggle to get that. Yes, Heidi, you're absolutely correct. You could also add this, which face the street, in which case, well, look at this. Isn't this marvelous? Look at that. In which case, now we've got 3 dependent clauses and 2 independent clauses. Awesome, Heidi. Awesome sentence. All right. This is a perfectly correct sentence, and it's perfectly correct grammatically. Now, you know, aesthetically, for style, okay, of course, it's a little awkward maybe having a couple of 2 which clauses in a sentence.
I think so. I removed.
Right. This is a matter of style, okay? Grammatically, this is perfectly correct, but right. I'll change it back because I want Heidi to have good writing style. Okay. Right. That's just a simple matter of repetition in English is really not a great idea. If you keep repeating the same word in a sentence or keep repeating the same, don't try to use different subordinators. Actually, this brings up a very good point. For effective and quality and really for style, speaking or writing, try to avoid using the same subordinators over and over again. That actually brings up a very good point. As far as, especially, for example, if you're in test preparation for an English test like IELTS or TOEFL or TOEIC or whatever, definitely you would lose points for having which face onto the sidewalk, for repeating the same relative pronoun and subordinator over and over again. And definitely my college professor, if I'm writing an essay and I did that, I know he would kick my butt for that. He would definitely mark me for that. Absolutely. So I agree with keeping facing here. Okay, Mauricio, we're back to you.
Yeah, my sentence is simple sentence.
Well, it better not be a simple sentence. It better be a compound, complex sentence. Okay.
I put in verbal in chat.
Verbal in chat. You put it in the Hangouts chat, right? Okay. Give me a second. I'll go fetch it. Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay. There we go. Here's the sentence. Oh, maybe we have a... Oh, let's see what we got going on here. This might be something special. Okay. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? If. Oh, okay. Okay, I have something to talk to you about, Mauricio, my friend. If I'll continue in Canada, I'll need a job, but I don't have some Canadian skills. What Canadian skills, Mauricio? Playing ice hockey? You can't play ice hockey? That's
yeah,
all you
for
have
example,
to do.
what
That's
about Canadian culture?
That's all you need. Just know about hockey, Mauricio. You're golden.
Oh,
Eat some syrup on your pancakes and play a little hockey and you're good. Okay. Terrific. Okay. Thank you, Mauricio. I have something I really want to share with the class. Now, this is something that comes up in compound complex sentences. Particularly, we've got a compound. Mauricio is attempting something special here. He's attempting a compound complex conditional sentence. A conditional sentence uses if, and then if this happens, then that will happen, or unless this happens, this won't happen. And we use unless for negative conditionals. But okay, point of order here, something extremely important. Mauricio, if is considered to be, it's a subordinator. You are correct in using it to create an a dependent clause. However, believe it or not, if is considered to be a time subordinator, and with time subordinators, we are simply not allowed to use future tenses. Ever. Never, ever, ever. In an independent or a dependent clause, it doesn't make any difference. Well, obviously, it's going to be a dependent clause because it has a time subordinator. Words like when or while, or even phrasal subordinators at the same time, meanwhile, during, what have you. If is actually considered a time subordinator. I can't use the future tense with if, ever.
Thank you.
Right? It's a very common mistake, and even native speakers say, "Oh, if I will go to the market later, I'm going to buy some oranges." But that's completely wrong, actually, grammatically speaking. Can't do it. Okay. Now, present tense, if I continue, and also you just don't need it. If I continue in Canada, correctly, you use simple future. This is conditional number one, the real condition. So we know Mauricio considers this to be a realistic probability. All right? He's got the present tense here. If I continue in Canada, that's good. And then simple future, I'll need a job. Great. Okay, he's got his connector, but I don't have some Canadian skills. Okay. All right, can you do this? Yes, you can. He's at least got this one phrase with the future tense, but I don't have. This is a state. Okay, a stative verb. He's using have as a stative to show possession. But I don't have some Canadian skills. Terrific. I love this sentence. I love it. Yeah. Okay, that minor problem with the will. It's an excellent example of how we can use compound complex sentence with a conditional. Really, I like it. Okay, and if you wish, perhaps I could create a Verbling class in which we will discuss the rules of hockey, if that will help you out. I'll be happy to help you there.
Live in prison.
Well, I like hockey.
Shouldn't we replace?
What's that?
Shouldn't we replace some with any? But I don't have any Canadian skills.
Ah, yes, we should, and that's a very good point. I knew there was something bothering me here. Right. Right, you're absolutely correct. Because you have negative, I don't have any money. We can't say I don't have some money. Ah, good eye, Vladimir. Thank you for pointing that out. I got so excited about the conditional sentence, I lost sight of the quantifier here. Quantifiers show how many. Right. I don't have any Canadian skills. or possibly many. There's other quantifiers we could use, but you could phrase it in another way. I lack some. For example, I could say I lack some Canadian skills. That would work, actually. That would be all right. Okay. There's ways you could rephrase it so some would be okay. It almost works, actually, but it's better with any. Okay, now I'm going to look at another example here where a lot of things are going on. Here we have yesterday we looked at this with okay. Okay, yesterday we looked at some sentences where the dependent clauses were in the middle, particularly relative clauses were in the middle of an independent clause. The man who sold me the car was crazy. The man was crazy is the independent clause. Who sold me the car is dependent. It can go in the middle. So this is also very common. Okay. Yes, Mary, outside the classroom, that is a complex sentence. Okay. Some people tell me the independent clauses are in blue. The dependent clauses are italicized. I should make these black so it's not so confusing. Hang on. I think somewhere along the line I changed the colors in my wait a minute. Okay, the independent clauses are blue. Others tell me. Okay, the dependent clauses are italicized. Note that the dependent clauses occur inside of the independent clauses, and that's what I'm stumbling around trying to say. That often happens. You can have dependent clauses in the middle of independent clauses. All right, Heidi kind of did that with hers. All right, Heidi's advanced. Okay, some people tell me is perfectly fine. People tell me with a quantifier, okay. This is often confusing, actually. Quantifiers, some, many, any, much, a lot of people say, none of the people, okay. These kind of quantifiers we frequently use in the beginning of the sentence. Don't confuse them with the subordinators. That's easy to do. It's super easy to do, and to be honest, I do it sometimes. It confuses me. But you've got to think of it more as being like an adjective. It's not really a subordinator because it's talking about how many. It's describing here people. So don't go thinking that's some or a lot of or phrases like this, quantifying phrases. Don't go thinking that they're subordinators creating a dependent sentence. They're not. All right, we often frequently use them in independent clauses. Okay.
Sorry. Some people tell me this is independent.
Yes, it is.
Even if it's not a complete thought.
Some people tell me. Actually, it is a complete thought. If you think about it in the right context. Okay. Possibly in the right context, others tell me is a complete thought. Others tell me. Who tells you? Others tell me. Who tells you? Some people tell me. Actually, all it needs to have is a subject and a verb, and if it can be in the right context, it is a complete thought. People tell me. Okay. People hurt me. Some people hurt me. The confusion, of course, is with tell. If I change this verb, you would see that it makes sense. Some people hurt me. Does that make sense?
Now it's okay.
Right. It's just a weird tell verb. I understand. And because we normally use this to introduce another clause. Okay, so the whole thing, some people tell me, some people say, there's another one, okay? We commonly use this as a phrase to introduce, usually a dependent clause, but to introduce information, to introduce supporting points. Some people say that the sky is blue. Okay, so that, I understand your confusion, actually. Okay.
And do we have another question in the chat box?
Yeah, we do, from Mary. But she wasn't paying attention. Mary, come to class. I'll give you more attention. But Mary, I did in fact say that, yes, that, other than the fact you forgot a period, I am learning English on my own is an independent clause, so as not to, so as not to spend my money on tutorials. This is a complex sentence. Yes, it is. So as, because we're using so as, it's a phrasal subordinator. It's not really so. As not to spend my money on tutorials doesn't make sense. So here is not a connector. So you have to be aware of that as well, that sometimes the connectors, fanboys, that connect independent clauses, sometimes they're not truly connectors. Sometimes they're in conjunction with another word, and they're actually used as a subordinator. Okay. All right. I want to quickly, all right, see if you guys can identify. I want to make sure you guys can identify the dependent and independent clauses here. Okay, so Zinho.
Hello.
In this example here, what is a dependent clause? What is the dependent clause? What are the independent clauses?
Although I like to go camping is a dependent clause.
Indeed. Okay.
I haven't had the time to go lately is a independent clause.
Yes.
I haven't found anyone to go with is a independent clause.
That's it. Exactly. Okay. As it says here.
So easy.
So easy. So easy when you know how.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right. Well, okay. No, it's true. Vladimir, how about this sentence? Let's dissect this one real quick.
Okay, we decided is independent clause. That the movie was too violent. It's dependent clause. But our children. Okay, but our children thought that we were wrong. Is independent clause, and we have one more dependent clause inside the second.
We do. Let me make this another pretty color, so we know that this one actually goes all together.
Our children thought that we were wrong.
I can play with colors. Yay! Okay, and
and the second one, who like to watch scary movies.
Right, is the other, as you said earlier, dependent clause. Very good. So our independent clause, how many independent clauses are there?
Independent.
Yeah.
Two.
Thank you very much. because one is the green, that the movie. No, I'm sorry.
No.
we decided. Oh, I've got everything all confused here with my colors. Okay, I should make this blue, I guess. All right, now we decided. That's it. That's the independent clause, right? And then the second one, our children thought that we were wrong. Those are the independent clauses, right? And then the two dependent clauses, now I'll make them yellow. Look, rainbows. Okay, there we go. Finally. Anyway, okay. He's absolutely correct. The paper isn't correct. For those of you who have the paper, he is correct that the movie was too violent. Okay, that was very good. All right, you're absolutely correct in your analysis. Okay, Nader, you're still here. You made it.
Yes.
Okay.
I said I may, but the next one is different.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So if Barack Obama is re-elected this November, this is the independent clause?
It's independent?
Independent.
Really?
Sorry, dependent.
Yes. If is definitely a subordinator. Okay.
Sorry, I meant dependent. So he will serve another 4 years. This is independent.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
good.
we have a coordinator.
Yep.
Oh. Then it won't be an easy contest to win. This is independent.
All right. This is fairly straightforward. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Again. Yeah. Go ahead.
No. So if we say and I have to go, this in the middle of a sentence we say this is independent clause. But if we say yes and no and I have to go.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. And I have to go.
And I have to go. Then we say it's independent. But if we say if I have to go, we say it's dependent.
That's right.
Yes, I know. So for me, it's almost the same. If we cannot when we say independent, we have to remove the and or but, so it makes sense. And we can do the same if we remove if, it makes sense. It becomes the independent. Do you see what I mean?
I'm not sure.
No. If we say if let's start with and I have to go.
Okay. Okay.
To say it's independent, we have to ignore and. I have to go. Correct?
Okay.
But if we say if I have to go, we have to, if we ignore if, it becomes independent.
If there's no if, well, I have to go is a simple sentence. It's a
yes, independent.
Right.
If we add if, it becomes dependent.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and if we add and, it is still independent.
If you add and in the front.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's pad this out and talk about it.
No. What I mean, I know now it's more complicated, but what I mean, if I have to go, this is a complete thought. If I have to go, we say it's not a complete thought.
That's right.
And I have to go without if, and I have to go. For me, it's not a complete thought, but we ignore the and we say it's a complete thought.
That's right. The connectors, those fanboys that we talked about, basically, strangely enough, we ignore them.
Yes, and if it comes to if or since, we don't ignore them.
Yeah, well, we can't ignore if. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like
okay.
since and because.
let's. I don't want to go. And if I have to go, I'll kill myself. Okay, let's be dramatic here. All right, I don't want to go is an independent clause, right?
Yes.
Granted. And if I have to go, this now becomes a dependent clause. Thank you. Definitely. Okay. So this is definitely a dependent clause. Excuse the capital letters. All right. This is an independent clause. Okay. And this would actually be very typical. And then I'll kill myself. Overly dramatic. Is independent clause. Right? So this is a compound. This is actually kind of a classic compound complex sentence. This would be very normal. And this is also a conditional, a real conditional. I don't want to go. Okay. Okay. If I have to go, present tense, I'll kill myself, real conditional. Right. So when you stick, when you when you stick the, even though I know it's a coordinator, fanboys and all that, and we can use it by itself, the key is also by itself, when the word is by itself. And usually you'll see like but followed by a subject noun. But if you have other complicated words and then a subordinator, then it's just you can think of it as being a subordinator, and it's going to be a dependent clause. Does that answer your question, or did I just confuse you?
What? No. What I mean, if remove and remove and.
Okay, I'll try.
Yes, and remove replace if with like because. Forget about the meaning.
Okay.
Because now. Is it an independent or dependent? Because I have to go.
Well, because it's definitely
it's definitely dependent.
It's definitely dependent, right? Because
but if I replace because with but, it becomes independent.
Yeah, you can play around with that. Yes.
Yes.
I know what you're saying. Right. You can substitute the coordinators for subordinators. Back and forth.
but yes, and it's the same. If you can say it's a complete thought, you have to ignore but and you have to ignore because.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still, right. You say independent.
Yes. Yes, you do.
What I mean that sometimes we say it's a complete thought, and we ignore because. And we ignore but we have to ignore but. But when we say it's not an incomplete thought, we say it's incomplete because of because.
That's right. It's a strange thing, but you can think about it that way. Those fanboys coordinators, you ignore when you're considering a complete thought.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, why do we ignore this and we don't ignore the other?
Why?
Yes.
Well, because once upon a time, Odin came down from the mountains of Valhalla and proclaimed unto the Vikings who were murdering the oak tree worshipping druids. I have no idea why. I'm just making that up. I don't really know. I just know it to be true.
What I meant, it's not fair.
It's not fair. No, it's not. English is not fair. Who told you English was fair? Well, get that thought out of your head. English is convoluted, twisted, and it's certainly anything but fair. Absolutely not. Right. Okay, on that happy note.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
You should take tutor lesson. This is
everyone. Thank you. It really helped me teach these ideas.
Same the time.
Well, we're out of time. I can't.
Yeah, that's right. So he should take tutor lesson if he had such question. Insisted.
Okay, well, anyway, now I can't close this class because I've lost it. That's terrific. Where's my... Okay, anyway, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.